Hi,
Hello?
Marianne.
Hi.
It seems to be working okay. I think what I've learned is just to keep the Zoom app open all the time. And my computer had been open for all afternoon, so I restarted it before I even went on, and maybe that's what the difference is. I don't know.
So you haven't had anybody look at it?
No, like it worked and then it didn't work. And like last Friday when I tried to do one of the own practice things, it wouldn't work, and that that you have to have your camera on.
Right,
So she
right.
suggested I go restart my computer, and then the camera came on. So I don't know.
Uh,
It works with Google Meeting.
Yeah, it does. It seems like there's something,
Something funky, but I don't know what it is.
something
I've needed
funky.
my
Yeah.
computer, so I haven't been able to turn it in and to get it fixed. And the other problem is, hi Pam, the collaborative doesn't have an extra one for me, so I really need it. So I've been putting up with it.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay. Well,
I'm glad everybody's here. Kate can't be here. She's not feeling well, but it looks like everybody else is here, right? One, two,
I don't
three.
see Elizabeth yet.
Oh, Elizabeth will be here. She's
Okay.
we have plenty of people for quorum. Here she is.
Yeah. Okay.
Great.
Here, I think
Oh,
there she
great.
is.
Perfect.
Good.
Okay.
Okay.
So Kate isn't feeling well, so she's not going to be here tonight. So I'll chair.
Okay.
She very kindly put the agenda together, and Mel just sent the minutes, which is perfect. I had time
I'm sorry about that.
No, perfect though. I read them just a minute ago, so like the timing.
Yeah, they're very short now that we're not like in the middle of everything.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm not.
So Ruth, let's start with reviewing the minutes. I did find two, I think, typos,
Okay.
and probably Brad found something else he always does. So framing starts tomorrow, down at the bottom, the building committee report, framing starts tomorrow with goal to get it framed and roof and on and windows in before it says window. I think you probably meant winter.
Oh, for winter.
Okay, yeah. And then
Yep.
the two lines down, hydro seeding will occur to hold everything in place. I think it's supposed to be till extra L, till spring.
Oh, it should be until.
Okay,
I'll just, yeah, okay.
okay. Doesn't that look good to me? Anybody else find anything? No? Anybody want to make a motion then to, let me change the view. It's like whoever's, let me put it on gallery, that way I can see everybody. Huh. Oh, here, I'm gonna do gallery up here. Okay, cool. That's better. Okay. Anybody want to make a motion? Brad, we can't hear you. You're on mute.
I move we approve the minutes.
Okay, anybody want to second that?
I'll second it.
Okay, perfect. All in favor? We do roll call. So Mel,
Yes.
Pam,
Yes.
Brad,
Yes.
Elizabeth,
Yes.
and Michelle, yes. Perfect. Okay. So next we're gonna look at the draft signature collection policy. Did everybody get a chance to look at that?
Yep.
Are there any comments or questions for Marianne about her proposal?
I thought it looked pretty good.
Me
It
too.
answered all my concerns.
Okay.
So I have a question about it, or something that I've been going back and forth. So, let's see. Okay. So the number 3, special consideration for library trustee nomination papers.
Mhm.
I think I've gone back and forth about that a lot. And so just imagine if there were a contentious library trustee election.
Mhm.
Um, uh, so it might be uncomfortable, to have those papers in the library and the conversations that might happen around it. So I think, first of all, I wonder if it would be even legal to say we're not going to, facilitate the collection of any signatures except for library trustee signatures. And then I could see that, we haven't had any contentious library trustee elections, but there have been contentious elections in Shutesbury.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think it would be cleaner to just say that the library is not going to be involved in the collection of any signatures.
I agree with that, especially since library trustee positions are becoming more political
Yeah.
throughout the country. And, because people see the position as a way to promote their, different political agendas. So I think that it makes sense to just
Right.
not have the library involved.
Yes. And I mean, I've always kind of said, oh, I'll take your papers and collect signatures for you. Um, and I'm the library director and I live right here and I see people, but I think it's also just cleaner to not have that happening. And if somebody's gonna run for library trustee, it's not that hard to get 20 signatures.
Mm-hmm.
So Elizabeth, do you have any thoughts just from your public policy background?
Not really, but I
No.
think it makes sense to just have people get their own 20 signatures because you wouldn't want people from other committees saying it's unfair.
Right, right,
Yeah, that makes sense.
And you wouldn't want to have to broaden it if there are more library committees,
right,
you know.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was talking about this potential policy with one person and they said, well, you could just have everybody's nomination papers and, already
Oh,
there
no.
was, it was just a,
That's too much.
and
Yeah.
And
That's
I just think, I think it's not really something that the library director or other library staff should be expected to do or
Mhm.
participate in.
Yeah.
And I was curious if, and it's certainly the times that I've helped with that, it's been a convenience for people. But I think it's better to just sort of have a clean separation with that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah, I think it makes sense too. And you're
Okay.
right. I mean, it could someday be contentious.
Right,
And,
right.
then it
And,
would be really
and part of the
awkward.
reason for having a policy is to try and set things up to prevent issues. So we should, we should create policies that that are fair and manageable and really make sense. So
Mhm,
let's see. Okay.
Okay, so we'll just strike number 3.
Yep. And then I think that's all we need to do.
Mm-hmm. I'm just rereading it in light of that changes to see
Okay.
what's here.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Marianne,
Yeah.
well, Michelle's reading. I realized that there are some materials that I have to submit with the last 3 meeting minutes that I realized I don't have. And I'm wondering if you could.
Okay.
Do you want me to email you or should I tell you now?
Here, let me just pull up a Word document and I'll make notes. Okay, so what do you need?
The final bylaws, trustees bylaws, the library budget, and the action plan from last month.
The library budget.
Yeah, that we approved in October.
Okay. Okay, and then the action plan.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then the signature collection policy that I'm assuming we're going to vote on tonight.
Okay.
Does anybody have any other comments before we decide to take a vote out after someone makes a motion? Oh, Brad, I just noticed your hands up. Go ahead.
So, edits to this policy. We're going to take out number 3.
Right.
Right.
I think enforcement should be in that numbered list. So I think it should be number 3 now. And
Okay,
That makes sense. Thank you, Brad.
I think the review and revisions is separate.
okay,
And to have
Okay.
that be at the bottom, separate from the rest, seemed fine with me, but I would pull enforcement up.
okay. So then enforcement and then
Yeah, and enforcement,
one of
enforcement's an
those.
important one, in case things don't go smoothly.
All right. And then I have to get it so it has those bullets. Okay, and then let's see if I can get it so it has those bullets like the other one. It's a different bullet. All right, I'll fuss around with that tomorrow with the formatting.
Contents
So
is all
that,
that really matters. Does anybody else have another comment or question before someone takes makes a motion to vote on it? No? Anybody want to make a motion to vote on the policy on collecting signatures for nomination papers and petitions at the library?
I'll make a motion to accept it as amended.
Okay, anybody want a second? Okay, Brad seconded it. Okay, let's do roll call. Mel
Yes.
and Pam,
Yes,
Elizabeth,
Yes.
Brad,
Yes.
and Michelle, yes. Thank you for thinking of this, Marianne. It's an important one, I think, or it could be.
okay, good.
We never
Okay.
think of all the potential problems that could arise, but
Right, right. Well, this came up because kind of back to back, 2 different people came into the library asking to
oh,
leave petitions.
mhm.
And I just it wasn't about the petition, it was about the asking the library to take on that work and to make
Yeah.
space for that work.
Right,
Um,
right,
and and if you do it for one, you have to do it for all. And then if you're, so
right.
yeah.
Yeah, if someone has a petition, they can stand outside the library just like people do stand outside Whole Foods and other places.
Right.
that's right.
Right. Yeah. Yes.
And so
Okay.
will this policy be on the library website or something?
So the trustees have a page on shutesbury.org and it will go there once I get the formatting fixed. And then one of the things I need to, I'm pretty sure that the trustees page is linked to the library website. But if it's not, it will be soon. And then next, I'm going to do a website policy. But that's a bigger policy, and I am very busy doing other things.
Yeah.
So,
Right, you are. Yes.
but I've been thinking about doing a website policy, and I've been kind of making notes.
Mhm.
About, what kinds of things are linked, what things are not linked, and how you make that all easy to sort of foolproof. It's like if you have, like we have a collection development policy, and that guides how how I manage the collection for the library. And so if we've never had a website policy, so if we make one, then it can guide how the library is curated in the future.
Mhm, that makes total sense, and that does
Yeah.
sound like a really big one, but yeah, given how much is on there compared to what it used to be like.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it sounds important.
Okay.
Okay, are we ready to do some updates then, like the director's report
Sure.
and building
Um,
committee?
Okay. So I don't have a written director's report, but let's see, since I saw you last. So Becky, under the select board's direction, applied for a municipal vulnerability program grant, and it's called MVP. And it's a state program to help municipalities prepare for meeting the challenges of climate change.
Mhm.
And the grant was about helping to pay for the solar panel for the new library and a backup power source if the power went out. And So the backup power source that Becky applied for in the grant was a Ford Lightning pickup truck, which has a big electric battery, and they can be used to power parts of people's homes. So since Becky got the grant, we have learned that that pickup truck can't be used to power the library.
Right.
So Becky has now left, that she no longer works for the town. And I met with the granting agency, with the, with our local representative to the granting agency. And they're willing to allow us to switch to a different backup power source. So there are freestanding solar batteries or batteries that store the power that solar panels make, that are, that come in little houses that they live in to be outside. They probably don't look like houses, but maybe we can paint them to look like houses. See, already I'm thinking of an art project. So anyway, it's going to cost a little more money, but not double the amount of money, to get like a day's supply of backup power
Mhm.
with these freestanding batteries. But the granting agency is willing to first allow us to use a different backup power source and to potentially give us more money to cover.
Mhm.
Because for the same amount of money, we could only get about 3 hours of backup power, and that just
Yeah.
didn't seem,
There's
Yeah.
no point in it.
very good.
Yeah.
So the architect is working on getting all of the details together, and then we'll get pricing, and then we'll go back to the granting agency. So that's been taking up some of my time. And let's see, I just finished the last of the grant funded programs for this calendar year. So when you get cultural council grants, it's calendar year. So the last cultural council grant that I had was for Rory's mitten making workshop. And Michelle, you did that one.
I did, yes.
Okay. Those were fun, and that was really well attended. And the needle felting one a few weeks ago was also very well attended. People can't get enough of these fiber arts. So that was good. And the next program I have this calendar year is this coming Saturday. I'm partnering with the Shutesbury Athletic Club to do a little winter family fun fair. We did this a couple of years ago. Santa comes and kids can visit with him, and parents can snap a photo. We'll have snacks, and a couple of craft activities. We're going to make cardboard tube bird feeders with Crisco and bird seed. And we're going to make reindeer food. And have cookies and cocoa and stuff. So it's a simple kind of, people will drop in and stay and then leave. It's not going to be a raging party, but it was a nice program when we did it 2 years ago. And so I'm looking forward to that this Saturday, and then that will wrap up the programs for the year. And then I got that grant from the New Salem Academy to provide 9 arts and crafts programs. So I have those all scheduled between January and June. So that was a lot of it's 3 different educators. And they're going to either be on Sunday afternoons or Thursday evenings. And so that was a lot of emailing back and forth to get those all scheduled,
What kinds of arts and crafts?
Let's see. So Rory is going to do 3 different fiber arts. So she's going to do block printing, getting to know your sewing machine, and
That's great.
marbling on fabric. So all things she's done
Wow.
before, but things that have been popular.
Mhm.
Jeanette Stockton is going to do infinity puzzle cubes. So people are going to make their own Rubik's Cube. And somehow, Jeanette has done it, so,
Mm.
and then she's gonna do pop-up cards and one other one, and then a new person who we haven't worked with yet before, but who I know, Sarah Casilio, is going to do, so she paints these planets on t-shirts and they're
Oh,
really
yeah.
beautiful. So we're gonna do those. That's January 5th. And then she's gonna do cairns. We're gonna make cairns using like rock cairns, but we're not gonna use rocks, using recycled materials. And then jewelry making using recycled materials.
Nice.
So, so the January 5th is the circle, the planet t-shirts, and then January 12th is the infinity puzzle. And then there's a couple in February and a couple in March. I don't know if there are any in April. And then there's, one in May and one in June. So it'll be fun. And they'll get posted, sort of 3 at a time.
Yeah,
Because I don't
that's
want
great.
people to sign up for things 5 months from now. I want them to kind of sign up a month in advance because people's plans change.
It sounds great.
Yeah,
People
Yeah.
that need things to do to get out of the house especially in the winter.
yes, yeah. And I've often avoided programs in January, but I thought, well, you don't know unless you try it. So we'll try it and see if people come. So, so that's good. Yeah.
Were
So
you gonna say
that's,
something, Pam?
No, it's amazing to me how much you organize, how many different things you organize all the time, Marianne.
yes.
So many different
Really,
ideas. You're like an idea person for sure.
Yes. I have more ideas than I can implement, but I
Uh,
do implement a lot of them. So, just like we are going to paint the battery huts. We'll have to see what they look like first before we plan, but I just,
yeah.
I don't think they're going to be especially attractive things, but
Hmm.
it's not, we can fix that. So,
that's a
Did they have
great way to
something,
get kids involved too,
yes,
you know?
yes.
did they have something like that at the Irving Library for their storage?
I don't know. I
There
don't
was
know if
something
they
out back,
have.
but I don't
Yeah.
remember what.
Right.
Huh.
I don't know if they have battery storage. Um,
Yeah, I don't know
but
either.
yeah. So anyway, there's a lot of details to come together. So and that's just sort of another thing. And then because Becky is gone and we have an interim town administrator who's working half-time. And really what she's doing is sort of keeping things organized and helping the select board do a search. So anyway, I'm going to be administering that grant, which makes sense because it's for the library, but um, it's one more thing to do. So,
Great.
but I don't, I'm happy to do it. It's just something that that takes that has to be done right and done well. And so it takes time and um, might prevent me from working on a website policy. So, but things are moving along.
Sounds great.
Good.
And how about a building committee update then?
Okay. Brad, do you want me to do that and then you'll jump in if I miss anything? Let's see. So the framing, I didn't actually take a look at it today, but when I looked last week, they now have walls up on both the east and west side. And that's going well, and that's really going to be what they're working on over the next 7 or 8 weeks. Uh, I think last month I might have said that they were still hoping that the building would be closed in by winter. That is not gonna happen, but it's so they just started the framing and it took a little while for them to just sort of figure out what it was that they had to do. And now they seem to have that and they're moving along and the supplies are getting delivered. Part of the roof structure is going to be glue lamb beams, which are these manufactured beams, and those are scheduled to be delivered during the third week of January. So, so that, so they're, they can't go beyond the glue lamb until the glue lamb is delivered. But
Yeah.
now I'm pretty sure the schedule is that the building will have a roof and windows by the end of March.
Mhm.
But they're just planning to work through winter conditions. One of their crew has a plow, and I said, what do you do if it snows? And they said, we shovel. So, and they've already had to shovel. So that's just going to be part of the project. So anyway,
Can I just get a quick aside? When my husband was building our house, there was a lot of snow that winter, and he had to take up a snow blower up to the second floor to blow the snow off because the roof wasn't enclosed. We have pictures of that. So I get it. Yeah, you got to do what you got to do to keep working, right?
right, yes, yeah. So that's, that's just gonna be what they're working, but things,
Yeah.
they are about 3 weeks behind schedule, but they're about 3 weeks behind schedule with the framing.
Mhm.
And the site work, there's more site work that's been completed because it was such a mild fall that they could keep going
Mhm.
with the site work. So that's good. Like a lot of the stormwater management infrastructure is in, the septic tank is in.
Mhm.
They're working on, so the electrical engineers designed so the electricity there's going to be a pole that most of the poles along that stretch of road are on the other side. They're going to put a pole at the end of the driveway, and then it's going to be duct bank that goes under the driveway, all the way to just beyond the end of the library, the south end of the library building, and there'll be a transformer there. So, and that was all designed by the electrical engineers.
Mhm.
National Grid redesigned it to have the duct bank going alongside the driveway and then having the transformer inside the circle drive. But inside the circle drive is a sort of a green space structure that was part of our notice of intent to the Conservation Commission. And then having the duct bank along the side of the driveway is sort of more site work. So anyway, they have now agreed to put everything back where we had it. So we're going back and forth with that. And then because they're putting a new pole in, there'll have to be a poll hearing at a select board meeting. And that grants National Grid the right to put the pole in.
Mhm.
So that's coming soon to a select
Mhm.
meeting near you.
Mhm.
But first we
That-
have to get the design fixed.
The approval for the pole is because it's town property?
Yeah, it's just standard practice. kind
We,
of.
when our driveway got totally ripped up, we decided to bury our power since we had to redo the driveway. And National Grid came and put the pole on our side, because they weren't going to go under the pavement. But I don't think we had to get permission for us, or at least if we
Uh-huh.
did, I didn't know about it.
Right, right. Yes. Yeah. I'll yes. I think it's just a formality. And it may not, if it was on your property, um, then it may not have involved the town, but because this is town property, it might involve the town. Anyway,
And all the Conservation Commission stuff too might be another reason that needs to be approved, right?
no, because
No.
it's not anywhere near any
Okay.
wetlands. So I think it's just so the pole is definitely going to be like in the town's right of way. And so
Mhm.
whenever any work is done in that right of way, the town is supposed to approve it. So anyway, it's just something that, that I'm learning about as we go along. But
Yeah.
because I got an easement, a request to have the select board sign this easement for National Grid, but then the design wasn't right. So anyway, it's just one of those details, one of these little sort of quirky details of this project that
There'll probably be many more.
Yes, yes, bring them on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, yes. But anyway, things are moving along. No, there haven't been any major or even minor snags. It's just that the framing is going a little slower. That, the foundation, getting the foundation and the slab done took a little longer
Mhm.
than it should have. And so then the framing started later. So, okay.
Anything you want to add, Brad, to that?
Nope, that covered
Okay.
it.
Am
Great.
I right that we're ahead of schedule on the site work though? Would that be
Yes.
correct in the minutes? Okay.
Yes.
And then, if you can let us know sometime when we can probably go see what's going on. It'd be so exciting to be there.
Okay. All right. We don't have another in-person meeting until January 6th.
Mhm.
So but so at that meeting, I'll schedule a time, like a daytime time
Okay,
for you all to come if you want to. So,
okay,
okay.
great. Okay, how about the Friends fundraiser outcomes? Any news on that, Elizabeth?
I think I'll have to get help from Marianne on this one. We had
Okay.
some stews and library giving day, but I don't know what the financial totals were.
So Library Giving Day just today actually got to exactly $40,000. I'm gonna look
Oh,
and
That's great.
so yeah, because it was there are always checks that trickle in.
Yeah,
And
I haven't given my money yet. I forgot.
yes,
And
yes,
even though I had a sign in my front yard, I'm just so busy with work that I forgot. So you can
yes.
count on it to be $40,100.
Okay, there you go. See,
It could be more. I wish it could be more, but
that's okay. I know. But the thing is, we've all given year after year after year, right? And when you add it all up, if you've given, $200 a year for 10 years, that's $2,000, it's, and many people have given more than that, but it's just, it just kind of, the money tends to trickle in a little bit. And, so today a check came and then it was 39,000. It was $75 short of $40,000. And somebody saw that and then just put in the $75. So Melanie, if you put in 100, she might have to put in another 900 to get, so,
Well, that's
yeah,
really great. Was there a target that the,
30,000 was the
okay,
goal.
that's great. I thought it was more than what
Yes.
they wanted. That's
Yeah.
absolutely wonderful.
Yeah. And then for
Generous.
papers, I just want to see, I'll look and see how many pavers have been ordered. And so paver
how can
orders.
one order a paper if one has been not paying attention?
So there's a link on the website and I can email you the
I can find it.
instructions, but
I
so I would say this has, oh, I know a better place to look at the paper orders. Because that's, some people have ordered more than one paver and then it makes the total look different if you look at it that way. So let's see, 37 and then 5. So 43 pavers have been ordered so far.
Mhm.
And I think, and paver orders have to be in by January 10th. And I think many more paver orders will come in because there are a lot of people who haven't ordered them yet. And I think many people will, want to, and I think people are figuring out, but I'll send you those specific instructions because it's easier. It's on the website and then I've put it in those library newses that I send out, those town announce emails that I send out, but if I send it to you directly, then you'll have it. for when you're ready.
And then what did the 43 papers and for a total of how much money? How much is each paper?
So let's see. See, some of them aren't online, so I'm just gonna do the math.
Papers start at like 150, don't they?
Yeah, and most people, so there are 150, one person paid 200.
Mhm.
So they're all the same. I am looking for my calculator on my phone and I can't find it.
I can do it. Just
Okay,
150.
so 43 times 150.
Okay.
Okay.
Of
6,450.
6,450.
Yeah.
And then an extra 50 on top of that. So 6,500. So we're off to a good start. Yeah. And then the turkey trot, so turkey trot profited about $17,000, which is
That's
amazing.
amazing. That's
That
wonderful.
is really wonderful.
There was such like wonderful energy there, and it was just so positive and fun. Yeah, it was great.
It's a lot of fun. It's a
Yeah,
fun
good job, everyone.
Yes.
Since
Yeah.
we're talking pavers, why don't we jump to the last thing, and then we'll have to go back to the town meeting outcomes. But since we're talking about pavers, we had talked about whether we wanted to purchase one on behalf of the trustees. So that would be like $25 a piece. Is that correct?
Yeah.
50, and then what would we want it to say? Like how, can you explain again the limitations on what it says?
So it's it can be up to 3 lines
Okay,
and up to 30 characters a line.
okay,
And including punctuation and spaces.
okay.
And so that.
I mean, a lot of us are probably gonna buy our own. I know that Pam already has, so I don't know how people feel about chipping in for another one on behalf of the trustees.
Yeah, I'm fine with
We
that.
are, a lot of us,
Nice idea.
half of us or more are the ones that wrote this grant, so with Mary Ann, so it would be nice to do something, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'll do whatever Marianne tells me to do. Marianne knows.
Well, this is a decision. It's so the library building committee is getting one, and then the turkey trot crew is getting one.
Nice.
And it's kind of fun,
Yeah.
Yeah,
It'll
yeah.
be
awesome.
Yoga.
forever.
What do we put on it? That's the question.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
What do we put on it?
I think
The
that some,
trustees
I don't know. I
trust
think
in the
something
library.
like- oh, sorry. Go ahead, Pam.
The trustees trust in the library.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is like libraries have become an inflection point politically.
Mm-hmm.
And like,
Absolutely.
they're like one of the last firewalls, against the rise of fascism.
Yeah.
And it seems like there's, I don't think we should get like super political in it, but I think that there's like a statement that could be made that could be timely and people could look to in the future. Something that we say about the importance of libraries.
Yeah, that's true.
Just a thought.
Here's one thought. Do we want to include just our first names? Because there wouldn't be enough space to have all our last names, but just say whatever we decide to say and then just put our 6 first names.
I think your 6 first names would take up most
Oh, it
of
would.
the
Okay.
space. Yes.
I haven't figured this out yet, so that was just a thought. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I kind of like that one, the trustees trust in the library. I really have not given
That
it
was
thought.
right off the top of my tongue. That's just not.
I have not given this thought really because I haven't really thought about what I want my family one to say either.
Can we talk about this online or is that a violation of the?
Well, we have a little time left because we're only 8:09 and we usually go to 8:30. And the only other thing we have on the agenda that we haven't talked about is the next meeting date and the town meeting outcomes.
How did the soups and stews go?
Oh, Soups and Stews was amazing. Soups and Stews, they sold out of soup.
I heard that.
And
Yeah,
they've never sold out of soup at this
Oh,
particular
really?
dinner. Yes,
that's
and
amazing.
they've sold out of some soups, but there's usually some soup left. But
There was nothing left.
there was not
I
a
went
drop.
back to
Not,
get another little bite and there was
yes,
nothing
no,
left.
no, there was some desserts. There was no soup left, and there was no bread left. There were some desserts left, and
Wow, that's great.
and yes, and there was as much soup as there ever is, if not more. And it was just this steady stream of people, and it made $1,370. And
That's
that
awesome.
is like 2 dinners,
That's
that's
amazing.
yeah, that's 2 very good dinners. So
That's
it was,
great.
yeah, so that was great.
It's awesome.
Yes. Yeah, and then the special town meeting, the library article passed without any
Oh, good,
action.
good to know.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's brainstorm something to put on this paper. Anybody have any creative ideas?
I think we need something like, we need some protect something. Trying to think about the rise of fascism, Mel.
So so the Friends of the Library, so it can't be really political.
Right,
Right,
Right, okay.
I got
right,
that.
Okay.
But it's something like library safeguard democracy or something like that.
right.
Like,
Yeah, yeah,
political, would it? I mean,
Yeah.
that's,
And
I
the
like
library
yeah, that would be
values,
fine.
or the
I
Right.
think
public-
I like,
Okay.
that's what I was thinking.
So say it
Something
again,
along that line.
say it again.
Yes.
oh, I was saying library safeguard democracy. That's what
Yeah.
I,
I like that.
Yeah, I was thinking of something along that lines too, but I haven't come up with that about what the library values or the trustees value, because it's going to be from us. It'd be great to say that we value this about libraries. Or would we say the quote and then just say the trustees, the library trustees? What did the Friends do? Did they say that was from the Friends?
The Friends didn't do one, yeah,
I haven't done one yet.
no. So I'm putting ideas into ChatGPT,
Mhm.
I love
which I
chat.
read about from Elizabeth.
I know it's evil, but I love it anyway.
Yes, and so,
That is,
so library safeguard democracy, a gift for future generations. Library safeguard democracy, no knowledge is freedom. Safeguarding
Oh, I like
democracy, one
that.
book at a time.
Oh, wait a minute, let's say that one again about the books.
Like that one.
Safeguarding
democracy.
democracy, one book at a
One
time.
book at a time. Oh, I really like that.
I do too.
Where did
like-
you get that, Marianne?
ChatGPT.
What is that?
It's artificial intelligence, Pam. It's like there's a big computer brain that basically is taking up a lot of energy and making climate change come faster. And unfortunately, it's really smart, and you can ask it to do things for you, and it will write a letter or come up with something like this.
So you just put that in your web browser like ChatGPT? What?
Yeah, yeah, I have an
It
account.
could have written your psych
Oh.
reports. It could have written your psych
Never.
reports for you.
Yeah.
That's scary. That's the
You
scary.
know, I knew a lot of people that used computer generated reports.
Yeah.
They're terrible. They did
Yeah,
nothing
yeah.
for the children.
Right.
Anyway,
So,
Fair democracy, one book at a time. I like that one.
and then
I
you can,
like
so then
that.
there's room, I'm putting it into the form. There's room to put the trustees of the library. So it
Yeah.
could be safeguarding democracy, one book at a time. Safeguarding democracy on the first line, one book at a
One book at a
time,
time.
and then the trustees of the library on the third line.
I
Mhm.
like that.
I like that too. Elizabeth and Brad, what do you think? You guys haven't said much.
It sounds good.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Okay. Cool. Safeguard democracy, one book at a time. The trustees of the library. I like that. You got us off to a good start, Mel. That democracy thing. The
And I
safeguard-
think that that's fine, that's not,
It's not terribly political. It's
it's
not
not
overtly.
right.
Democracy isn't political yet.
It's not partisan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
exactly.
Or,
No.
Right.
or it shouldn't be partisan. Libraries don't
shouldn't
used
be.
to be a
Right,
partisan
library
issue.
should not be. Right.
Right.
So, okay,
Agreed.
okay.
So we bring you a check for $50, Marianne?
I think it's 25 each.
25. I did a
25.
little.
Yes. So either that or you can, so it would be a check made out to the Friends of the Library. So yes, that's fine.
Or do you want us to give it to someone? You want us to do it on our own?
Either way.
That might be easier for Marianne if we pool all the money and someone
Okay.
on our
That's
website.
Can bring
Now I'm
money
really
to the
gonna
next.
blow your mind. I was gonna ask if people had Venmo, but that might be
I
too much.
do. I do.
don't.
I love Venmo.
I don't do my Venmo. I have enough passwords in my life, not one more thing.
So does one
Venmo's
person want to
awesome.
say that they'll like if Mel and Pam Venmo the money to Elizabeth and Elizabeth
Yeah.
and then Brad and Michelle and maybe Kate would Venmo the money to you to Elizabeth.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then Brad, do you have Venmo?
I don't remember. I do. Never used it.
I always have to ask my kids to Venmo money for me if that's the only way to get money to somebody.
Yeah,
You
my
know.
daughter's done the same thing. Or I've just actually put cash in the mail to my sister who could never get to the bank when she lived in Boston, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm just not doing Venmo.
Yes,
Right.
I have Venmo.
Actually could have done PayPal. to
Oh,
her,
you have
but I-
Venmo too. Oh, Brad has Venmo too.
Hey, Elizabeth, how do I find you?
Let me tell you what my name is.
Hold on, let me see if I can figure this out. I use it, but I just do people I know.
My name is Elizabeth India Murphy.
Okay.
Your middle name's India.
Elizabeth
There you are.
dash Elizabeth dash what?
India.
Like the country.
Dash
Just like
Murphy. I gotcha.
Just sent it to you, Elizabeth.
perfect.
All right.
It's funny because I pay almost all of my bills online, but I don't know, I just don't want to do one more
I
thing.
don't have it either. And then I just
So what should I do? Should I just send it to you or drop it off at your house, Elizabeth?
Or you can give it to me at the next meeting.
Okay, yeah,
or you can bring it
bring it
or
to the
you can bring
library.
it to the library, Michelle.
Okay, I'll do that.
And then I can just tell Elizabeth I have it.
And
All
Okay.
right.
would you mind-
Elizabeth, what are the last four digits of your phone number?
4312. And Marianne, would you mind emailing me that
What a great number that is.
quote or the text?
I would not
right.
mind emailing you the text. And we should probably just, all right, so,
There, all done.
okay.
I like when I can do that and then not have to think about it because other things get in the way and I'm so distractible lately. I don't know. Can't seem to
Me too.
hold on to things.
And then Pam, when you're done with this meeting, you can go on Chat GPT. And you can
Think I'll
ChatGPT.
pass. It might be fun just to see what it does, but I don't know, there's
So many
something,
websites have like, that's who you're really talking to in those help things. When you need help, you're really talking to, it's AI.
Yes.
Yeah, when I signed my dog up for health insurance, the pet insurance, I was dealing with, this AI person named Maya.
really.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a worthwhile thing to have, though, the pet insurance, I'll tell you.
Yeah,
It has saved my can.
yeah.
Yep.
Well, after our last dog, there's no way. Okay, I think
Okay.
that was it. Now we just have to choose our next meeting and then we'll be able to adjourn. So we're looking at January. So the third Monday is Martin Luther King Day. So I don't know if people want to do the 13th or the 27th, or does it matter?
I'm
People-
away on the 27th.
And I'm
I
away
leave
on the
20th.
13th.
Okay. Anybody else have any preference then? 20th or 27th?
20th works.
I'm not available the 20th or 27th.
Okay.
Is the
You're-
13th Martin Luther King?
No,
that's
it's the
the
20th.
Yeah,
20th.
Oh,
that's
no,
the
that's
20th.
right. Oh my God, that's right. It's the 20th. Yeah. Okay, so how about the 13th?
Yeah, we
I'm
know
away.
that Pam's away.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
I can't attend the 13th either.
You can't either. Okay, well, that's too many people.
What about skipping January and going right to February?
Should we go like early February then?
Yeah,
Like the 3rd?
well, I get back on the 3rd, so how about the
Oh.
10th?
Okay, sure, the
The
10th works. Okay.
The 10th I can't attend again,
Oh,
but I could do the 17th.
The
I can't do
17th is a holiday.
President's Day. It's a
Oh.
federal holiday.
What about the 11th or the 18th?
Um, those work for me.
The 11th, a Tuesday.
Yeah,
Yep.
they both are. They're two consecutive.
That works.
That works for me.
I think I can do the 11th. I know I can't do the 18th.
Okay. So, so far, everybody here can do the 11th?
Yep.
Brad, when do we have a building committee meeting the 10th? All right, so that Tuesday, the 11th will probably be a library building committee meeting.
Oh,
Because
okay.
those have been the second
Oh, boy.
Tuesday of the month, haven't they been, Brad?
This is a
Oh,
Wednesday
Here we
night work.
go.
What if we did the 13th?
I only have January of the 2nd, but it is the 2nd.
Right,
I only have the next one, not the series.
yes. The Wednesday works for me.
The 12th, February
13th.
12th.
What
That
Oh,
works
right.
for me.
What day is that?
Wednesday,
February
February
12th?
I will be out of town.
Oh my goodness, we're running all kinds of blocks this time.
What about Wednesday, February 5th?
That's fine.
That works for me.
Wednesday.
I'm-
Ugh. I don't know. I've taken on a series of Wednesday conflicts and I don't know which ones I'm doing.
Oh my. Marianne, when are you away? From what to
I
what?
leave the 20th and I get back on the 3rd, but probably at
Oh, okay.
midnight.
What about the 4th?
Well, I wouldn't want to schedule a meeting the day after I get back just
Oh,
in case
yeah,
I run
okay,
into
too much.
travel issues.
Yeah, that's happened before, huh?
It happens more so now than ever.
Mhm. Yeah,
So, and especially, in the winter.
yeah, that's
Um,
true.
And we already said January 5th was out, right?
I don't think we talked
Did we
about
say
that one.
January 5th?
I don't think we've talked about it.
We could,
Six.
let's see.
That might be one of the
January.
Wednesdays.
You mean
Conflicts.
January 5th, this is Sunday?
You mean
Oh.
February 5th?
The 6th,
Yeah, not,
that's fine.
That works for me.
February 6th is the Thursday. Works for everybody?
No,
Talking
No,
Jan.
no,
Oh,
Monday,
January, I thought.
January.
Oh, we're back to January, sorry. Okay,
wait, what day of the week is that?
it's a
January 5th.
Monday.
It's a Monday.
Mel, we were gonna skip January.
Well, because we couldn't find a date, that was why.
Yeah.
Mm.
Do we have anything pressing we need to talk about in such a short period of time? 1, 2, 3 weeks?
Thing is, we're having trouble finding something in February that
Yeah, we
works for
are.
everybody, so seems like if
time
we
is-
could do
Well,
the
what
6th.
about the 24th?
February again. That works for me.
Yes, February
That
24th.
Monday, a Monday,
Yeah.
Works for me.
Okay.
that works.
Okay.
Look at that.
20.
Does that
Monday,
work for
February
everybody?
24th.
Monday, February 24th?
Yeah, it's quite possible, but I haven't scheduled yet that I might be out of town. But I'm not 100% sure on that.
Okay.
But could you do it without me?
We
Yeah.
can do it
Yeah.
as
we
long,
can-
we can have 4 people.
Right, like tonight's
So-
because we only have.
Yeah,
four.
I think we need to just schedule.
Okay.
Maybe,
Let's do the 24th.
And if other people find things have come up, we'll just have to, I don't know, go back to plan B and
right.
something else. Yeah, I have a ski trip yet to schedule also, and I don't know when, it's gonna be in February sometime, but I don't know yet when. So, okay.
To be on the record that January 19th is Dolly Parton's birthday.
Oh,
I just wanted to say that.
how old
Now,
is Dolly gonna
Forever
be?
in these meeting minutes.
How old is Dolly gonna be?
I don't know.
Oh, she's up there. Okay, so we'll meet again February 24th. We'll have no meeting in January. And I think we can adjourn with that. And if
Elizabeth,
anybody
will you
finds that they're
reach
not
reach
in
out to
conflict-
Kate about the paver?
Yes, I will do that. I will let her know.
Okay, all righty. Okay, good.
And if anybody finds that they do have a conflict, please let us know sooner rather than later in case we have to try to reschedule, which is, as we know, will be hard. Okay.
Oh, I have just one thing that's popped back into my head. I am pretty sure that the trustees' bylaws say, and I'll check right now, that when you're approving new policies, that you discuss it in one meeting and that you approve it at the next. And I'm just before this meeting ends.
Oh, that sounds
Uh,
vaguely familiar. I think
Does that, yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Let me,
in which case we have to approve the signature
right,
policy
okay, so here's
at the
the
next meeting.
bylaws, let's
Right.
see.
Let me
Um,
go back to the meeting.
Last time we had one that we approved. What was that one again?
Officers,
That was,
meetings.
what was what policy we just approved? It was,
I can look.
Oh, it's the bylaws that maybe get, um,
yeah, because
okay,
we've never.
it's the bylaws that get approved at different meetings.
Okay,
It's
that
not-
makes sense.
okay,
We've never done it
all
that
right.
way before
Yes,
ever. So, okay.
okay,
All right,
all right.
that's a relief. Okay, so we don't need to worry about that.
yes, okay,
With that,
all
we
right.
can end the meeting. Have a good holiday, everyone.
Okay.
And see you in February if we don't see you elsewhere. And I'll just bring my check to the library. That seems like the easiest thing
Okay,
for the
and I'll
people.
let you know when it's there, Elizabeth, okay?
And the
Thank you.
check will be made out to me.
I don't know, who was it gonna be made out to?
I think it can be made out to the Friends of the Library, and Elizabeth, you can just put in a different dollar amount. You can put in whatever, because you can put in a custom amount on that form.
Oh, I
Okay.
see.
Okay, all right,
Oh, I can put in 125.
yes,
Okay.
yes, okay.
Okay,
Good.
all
Okay,
right, okay,
all right,
all right,
great.
bye.
all right,
Bye,
thanks,
bye,
everybody.
everybody. Have a
All
nice
right.
Good
holiday.
night,
Okay, all
bye.
right, good night,
Night.
thanks, everyone. Okay.